إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه وتعالى ونستعين به ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح للأمة فكشف الله به الغمة فصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي النبي الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن صار على هديه ثم أما بعد. All praise due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His guidance, we seek His forgiveness, and we seek refuge in Allah from our own bad deeds. Whoever is being guided by Allah is indeed guided, and whoever is being left astray will find no one to guide him. I bear witness that there is no one worthy of worship save Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His servant and His messenger who conveyed the message to the best of his ability. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, his kin, his companions, and their followers thereupon until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, in the events, or in the shape of the events that are taking place in our today's world, we stand sometimes not knowing exactly what's going on. And I hear that as I travel across the nation and I meet so many people. Everyone is questioning, no one has a clear mind of what is going on in our today's world, especially in the Muslims world. And it's not easy for anyone to do the analysis and pinpoint one thing, whether it's positive or negative. But people try to get, little lessons here and there, maybe do partial analysis of what's going on, as again, whether it's positive or negative. But we can take one thing for sure, that whatever is going on, as we see, these are in a way, these are tests, fitan, tests for all of us, individuals and communities, the followers of this deen, humans in this earth. What's going on is not something simple that we can overlook and just go on with our daily life and our daily business as usual. It's never business as usual these days, never. When you see people who are under siege, not one or two or 1,000 or two, 1.7 million people who are under siege for the past 7-8 years, and on top of that, they have the brothers, their own brothers, going against them before the enemies. It's never business as usual. I'm going to read those two ayahs, and then I'm going to elaborate, and I'm going to go into history backwards. I'm going to start recent and go a little back, inshallah ta'ala. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين. And the second ayah says: أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يأتكم مثل الذين خلوا من قبلكم مستهم البأساء والضراء وزلزلوا حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله ألا إن نصر الله قريب. Those two ayahs are extremely relevant to the affairs that are taking place in our today's world. Because some of us, even though we're not in a place where we are under or witnessing these fitans or experiencing these fitans firsthand, we're just seeing it, probably watching it on TV, or maybe just seeing the side effect of these fitans. You know, when any disaster happened, hit Florida, and we just see the side effect of it, maybe the wind. That's what it is. We just see the side effect of these fitan that are happening and taking place and affecting millions of people. Those people's situation is completely different than ours. They're the one who's been really tested day in and day out by losing their homes, losing their loved ones, losing their peace of mind, losing their health, losing their food, losing everything that they once had in their life. Even their memories are gone. The memories that we cherish. Because all of our life, by the way, when we are asked at the Day of Judgment, how long did we last on this earth? We say, يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ. Right? A day or, part of the day. It's all memories. Even these memories are gone. Gone. But these are tests. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the ayat, حَتَّى يَقُولَ الرَّسُولُ وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ. Even the prophets will be tested. Let's see a comparison between the life of the Prophet ﷺ when he was under siege in Mecca, في شعب أبي طالب, and those in Gaza who are under siege. Let's see the comparison. Let's see how everyone allied against them. They're weak, they have no power, all they have is the robe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's the best robe, and it's the best connection and the best power, the best of powers. But in the dunya material, they didn't have anything to defend themselves. Just a few supporters from the family of Abi Talib. Yet they were put in a siege for 3 years. 3 years, to the point where people were sucking on the leaves of the trees, the dry leaves. Even the dates they didn't have. Even the dates they didn't have. They wished at points that they have something, not for themselves, maybe for their children, at least. But they didn't have it. And they passed the test. They continued. Some of them probably failed. Most of them passed. Because these are fitan. These are fitan for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has imposed on us to see those who are truthful in their claim. أَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنْ أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَنْ يُتْرَكُوا أَنْ يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Everyone can claim, I am a mu'min, or I am Muslim. But until and unless they are put through trials and they pass these trials, this claim has a flag and has a question mark on it. And those Muslims in the early stages, before they even had anything, before they even were, even a good number to support one another, they were weak, a small number. Most of them are, from the slaves, the poor who followed the Prophet ﷺ. And they passed. And they were patient. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He promised them, أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. When they had the dead end, and they thought there is no way out, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started opening doors for them. The doors of Medina, the doors of Badr, the doors of all these futuhat. And in a small number of years, we start hearing that the Islamic empire start reaching the far west and the far east and the far north and the far south. in no time. Why? The key was that they were patient. And they passed every test that they went through. And they were going through test after test. They enjoyed Badr, so they messed up a little bit in Uhud. Then they got back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Khandaq. Then they enjoyed their numbers in Hunayn. Test after test. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching them and always near them. And when they go back to Him and they realize, always He made them victorious right away. أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. But the point is, when the Prophet ﷺ or the prophets reach to the point where they say, مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ, they start asking, you know what level is that? This level, when the Prophet usually is the one who has that direct connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows what no one else knows. He knows that he has Allah with him. Yet he asks, مَتَى نَصْرُ اللَّهِ? You know that they reach a point where the test is so heavy on them. So heavy that they cannot bear. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful with His servants. أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. And today we're witnessing the very same thing in Gaza. The very same thing. This group of people been put under siege, and I wish it just stopped at that point. Their brothers became allies with their enemies. Even from the inside, there are traitors. Even from the inside, there are traitors. There was munafiqeen during the days of Prophet ﷺ. There was mushrikeen, wa kuffar, wa munafiqeen, and we witness it. We see them today, by the way. There are different faces, different names. We give them different titles. But if you go down to the bottom, or you go to the basics, they're the very same. Mushrikeen, wa kuffar, wa munafiqeen. All these titles, they are here. And they are among them or surrounded them. And every day, it didn't stop to the point where they just put them under siege and let them starve. It didn't stop at that point, brothers and sisters. And I hope you have good memory, by the way, because when it comes to this deen and to the ummah, any calamity in this ummah, we have to have a good memory. On December 27th, 2008, there was a massive attack and a massive destruction against people of Gaza. And then in 2012, and then 2014, they could not even recover. I was there last year in Gaza. Most of the homes that they were destroyed back in 2009 and 2012, they were not recovered. They couldn't rebuild them. Schools, they couldn't rebuild them. Many buildings, they couldn't rebuild. They didn't have the material, they didn't have the time, they didn't have the energy, they didn't have the money. They didn't have what it takes for them to rebuild their livelihood. Then the aggression came again and just took what was left or what was rebuilt and destroyed it again. It's like a movie, or watch, then rewind, then watch again, then rewind, then watch again, then rewind. And yet they're patient. They're patient. They're starving. They have no peace of mind. Peace of mind. They have no health. And they have no security. They have no food. And they've been killed. Their children being traumatized. You know what trauma means? When a child starts seeing nightmares, either because of the sound of the bombs and the planes all night long, hitting a bombing in their neighborhood, children cannot sleep. They don't understand. Children don't understand the politics of things. Children only react directly to what is surrounding them. Why these noises? Why there is bombs? Why people are dying? They don't understand. But when they start even seeing dead people on the streets and seeing blood and children like themselves are killed, their bodies are split apart, or their heads are a part of their body, what does this cause to a child? Or when a child loses his mother or her mother or their parents or their siblings, what does that cause to them? Some children until today, they cannot believe that their parents died. They don't want to accept this fact. They don't want to accept the fact that their parents died or their siblings died. Trauma. They're really under a lot of emotional distress. Yet they're patient and they're passing test after test. Are we passing these tests? We are only getting the side effect. Remember, our homes are not destroyed. We're not losing our siblings or our parents. We're not going hungry at the end of the day. We're only getting the side effect of things. Are we passing these tests? Are we passing the test of making dua for them? Are we passing the test of telling their story? When I went there last year, as I mentioned, I visited so many schools in the Gaza Strip. And in the northern part, by the way, the area that was hit the most is the northern part of Gaza Strip. And it's the poorest, by the way. It used to be the richest because that's where the fertile land is in the north. That's where the oranges and all the agriculture, the fruits and vegetables and strawberry and all this, it's no longer there. The poorest now. Slums. Some areas are literally slums. I visited some schools and the social study teachers told me that when the school starts, when the school year starts, that was before the attack last year. Some children don't come to school until the first week or second week or third week or maybe even the first month of the school year. Simply because some of them cannot afford to buy their book bag or shoes or their school uniform. They usually wait for people to give them from zakah and sadaqat, and then they go buy their shoes or their book bag or their school uniform, and then they come to school. They're so shy to come without these things. They cannot come barefooted, or they cannot come without a school uniform because right away they will be spotted that they don't have the money for it. So they wait until someone gives them that. But those people who are poor and hungry and unsafe, they have dignity. They have dignity. You all heard the story of the man who was killed this year during the invasion, and they found that piece of paper in his pocket saying, if I died, I owe this person this amount of money and that person that amount of money. Those people have dignity. They're not beggars. They're not beggars. They're passing tests heavier than money and heavier than hunger. They're passing tests of death, tests of trauma, using the best thing that any one of us spend their life to earn. They're losing it. And they say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That's it. I hope we are passing the test just like the way they are. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على هديه ثم أما بعد. That's when the Ummah passed the test and proved that their claim of Iman and Islam is true. It's a true claim. That's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, put them among the Sabiqeen. And then, when they go through all these trials, and show patience, and don't deviate from the straight path that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet has drawn for them, then two things. أَمْ حَسِبْتُمْ أَنْ تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةِ, then they will earn the gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the prize of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Jannah. And in this dunya, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised, أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. So in this dunya, they will be victorious, and in akhirah, they will earn the prize, al-Jannah. إِمَّا نَصْرٌ وَإِمَّا شَهَادَةٌ. إِمَّا نَصْرٌ وَإِمَّا شَهَادَةٌ. Either victory or Jannah. Those who are truthful in their claim, those who stay at the straight path, those who support their brothers and don't fear for themselves, even though they're just getting the side effect of things. Don't fear for their lives. They make sure that they become the voice of their brothers, because they're voiceless. They become their voice here in every way possible. In every way possible. You have to go that extra mile, or maybe extra 10 miles, to see how can you support them legally, within the law. And there's so many things you can do within the law. And we're not doing probably 1% of that. Just to let you know. 1% of that. You know what's our problem? If we do one thing, if we go to a protest one day, we feel so good about ourselves that we didn't do anything else. Khalas, I went to a protest. I supported my brothers in Palestine. Then we don't do anything else after that. We feel so good about ourselves. This is a long term. The test is a long term test. It's not a one-time test. And because, just to give you, now I'm going to go a little backward in the history. Just to show you when we did not pass tests with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what happened to us. Palestine was a free land with the Khilafah Uthmaniyya. If you go back just about 100 and some years ago, Palestine was an imara, it was a state with the Ottoman Empire. But when that fell apart, and it fell apart because of traitors from within this Muslim Ummah that allied against the Khilafah Uthmaniyya, what happened? That gave the British, who did not own Palestine or had no right to say anything about Palestine, they felt at liberty of giving a promise. Of giving a promise to split Palestine into two parts. One part will be given to those who did not even exist in Palestine at that time, in 1970. They did not even exist. The number of Jews in Palestine was less than 5%. But they were given a promise, half the country. And 95%, those who existed in the country, they were given another half. That's the promise. That promise became a UN resolution 30 years down the road, 1947. And that resolution went a little farther. In 30 years, the Jews became from 5% to about 30%. with the help of the British, a wave of people coming from Europe and Eastern Europe into Palestine. The UN resolution went little beyond the half. They gave them little more than half. And the 2/3 were given less than half. That's because we did not pass any test. We were far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the land was taken away from us, piece by piece. The Jews, they noticed that we're not close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're not following the deen. They did not even respect the UN resolution. They went on in 48 and they took 78% of the land. And they left 22% for the Palestinians. In 1967 they took the other 22%. And who counts? And who cared? They didn't care in 1947, 1948, and they didn't care in 1967. And now they're negotiating with the Palestinians to give them back 7% of the 22% that they left in 1967. That's because we don't understand that this Islam is a principle. We don't understand that Palestine is waqf. We don't understand these principles. We don't understand that whatever tests that we go through, we cannot give up and give in right away. We have to be patient and we have to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And look, everything is going, by the way, the same way. That lesson is being replicated. Sudan has been divided. Iraq is going to be divided. Iraq is going to be divided. The signs are clear now. Iraq is going to be 2 or 3 Iraqs. And probably this show is going to trickle down. God knows where it's going to go. Or how far it's going to go. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. One thing can save us, brothers and sisters. One thing. If we are truthful about our claim that we are Muslims, if we pass these tests, if we stand steadfast in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we sell ourselves and everything we have for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we do that, if we don't stop feeling that if we join the protest or we call a senator one time or maybe we checked yes on Facebook one time, that we did our job. That's not our job. Our job goes way beyond that. If you don't take that extra mile or that extra 10 miles, if you don't make Palestine your story on daily basis, and it's never business as usual, until and unless we get to that point that it's not business as usual. And we have to be on alert, every day, on alert, because we're Muslims, and we're at test. We are at test right now. Yes, our homes are not being destroyed, but our test can be just as hard because our test is with hubb al-dunya, the love of this dunya. This is our test. Are we willing to pass that test? This is all up to us. All up to us. Individuals, communities, groups, organizations, it's all up to us. And unless and until that point, you're going to keep seeing and watching one country after another is being taken away, alienated, divided, getting weaker, internal struggle, and then they move to the next. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this, what happens in today's world, will help bring us back. Open our eyes and wake us up. Wake us up. Let us wake up to the fact. Let us go read about the stories of the past. The stories of the companions and the stories of the Prophet ﷺ, they're not worthless. they're not worthless. Didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in most of the Quran told us what? Stories. Right? وَقْصُصُ الْقَصَص. وَقْصُصُ الْقَصَص. Read, because they tell you something. You can derive something from these stories. You can learn how they were steadfast, how they were patient, how they did not give up, how they went back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Back to Allah. When we go back to Allah, we learn and we see it vivid before our eyes. That inna nasr Allahi qarib. We see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never leave us alone. If we don't alleviate ourselves and keep ourselves away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we go back to Him, He will come even faster to us, to meet us, and to make us victorious. And to make this deen flourish, spread. We don't want to talk about, oh, new Muslim, a new person came to this deen today, new Muslim, a new person came to that deen tomorrow. We're at 1.5 billion. Where are they? What is their effect? Because if you want to value anything or any group of people, you want to see their effect in this life. What is our effect? غثاء? Right? What is our effect? Is it about numbers? It's never about numbers. It's about value. It's about us being united. And this is a key, brothers and sisters. If your hearts, if you don't feel from the bottom of your heart that the person sitting next to you is your true brother in Islam, if you're not willing to do what Ansar and Muhajirin did at one time, if you don't find that in your heart, we're still far away. We're still far away. We have a long way to go. We need to come back together. We need to, again, the story of Palestine, brothers and sisters, the story of Gaza today, should be part of our life. Each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. There are so many ways that you can do to support within the system, within the law. And there are so many things. And there are so many organizations who can show us how to support, how to say the word that should be said. Our elected officials here, they want to hear things. They want to hear from us. Yet they're not hearing anything from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and enlighten our hearts to go back to Him, to the straight path, and to be steadfast, and to be patient, and to always go back to Him, asking Him to alleviate us from all these trials, alleviate us, and to protect our children. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammadin fil awwalin wal akhirin. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammadin fil a'la ila yawm ad-din. اللهم أصلح فساد قلوبنا اللهم أصلح فساد قلوبنا اللهم أصلح فساد قلوبنا اللهم احفظنا أبناءنا اللهم احفظنا أبناءنا اللهم احفظهم بحفظك يا رب العالمين اللهم احفظهم يا رب العالمين واجعلهم ذرية صالحة واجعلهم عبادا صالحين اللهم احقن دماء المسلمين في كل مكان في غزة وسوريا والعراق ومصر وباكستان وبنغلاديش وافريقيا الوسطى اللهم احقن دماءهم في كل مكان اللهم استر عورات نسائهم اللهم ان كانوا جوعى فاسقهم يا رب العالمين وان كانوا جياعا فاطعمهم وان كانوا مرضى فاشفهم وان كانوا عرايا فاكسهم اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم اللهم ثبتنا على دينك يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرنا وانصر عبادك يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر عبادك المستضعفين في الأرض اللهم مكن لهم اللهم مكن لهم اللهم مكن لهم والله صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى